So I want to share some stuff with you guys that's been really transformative for me over the last few months. And it's something that I'm really still trying to fully understand, if I'm honest. And this stuff's been so powerful for me about understanding how to unlock my own potential, like full potential. And I really want to share it with you because I think this is going to be super helpful and super relevant for a lot of people. So let's get into it. So something that's occurred to me recently is how much we bullshit ourselves, to put it for want of a better way of putting it. And this has been really obvious to me about, how I view my own potential and what that is, and how there are things in place which stop me from achieving that full potential, shall we say. And like I said, this has been really transformative for me. Like this has opened my eyes up to so much of what is possible. And it's why I really want to share it with you, because it's game changing stuff, honestly. So what I want to do to start with, just to kind of help you guys and myself as well, because this is always really helpful, to arrive at this to a point of understanding where I'm coming from, right? Is I got two questions I just want you to kind of pause and reflect on. And you might literally want to hit pause on this and reflect on both of them, and then press play and start listening again or watching again, which is fine. But really make sure you've heard both questions before you do that. And then when you come back, I will be here waiting for you. So the first question is, on a scale of 0 to 100, where would you say that you lie currently in your life? Forget, anything that's happened to you in the past or we're not trying to change the past or anything like that. We're just currently with who you are and where you are in your life right now. If 100 was your absolute full potential, where would you say that you're lying on that scale? So 0 to 100, where are you lying on that scale if 100 is your full potential? And then the second question I want you to consider is, wherever you are on that scale, what would your life look like if you got to the 100 full potential mark, right? What would be different? How would it look? What are the things you'd be doing? How would you be living? What would your financial situation be? Your relationships? All of that stuff. Just really consider for a little while what that would look like to you if you were living at 100% of your full potential. So now that you've done that, what I'd like you to do is just look or think back on what you just reflected on, right? And really do this for yourself. Like really reflect on this and see how all of that stuff that you've just said you need to be different, or how your life would be different if you were at 100% of your potential, is entirely made up by your thinking. Like every single part of it is just made up by you, because it's not true. Because my list of stuff would be entirely different to your list of stuff, to another person's list of stuff, to your partner's list of stuff, to your friend's list of stuff. So all of that stuff is entirely made up individually, right? And this I want to be really obvious to you, because this really helped me seeing this. Was like, oh, okay, so if my potential is this is what I'm saying my full potential is, I've made that up. And the fact that I've made that up and I've told myself that it's full potential, I've already put a limit in place on what my full potential could be, right? So my thinking is stopping me seeing what my full potential actually could be. And there is so much more beyond what your full potential is to what you understand it to be, right? There is so much more depth to it than what you can ever understand. And knowing that you don't know that brings a lot of freedom, because you're no longer placing limitation on your life. You're no longer placing restrictions or like false beliefs or false thoughts on what you can or can't do, and how you can and can't live, or who you can or won't hang out with, or whatever it is, right? Or how much or how little money you can earn, or whatever it is, right? All of a sudden, with that freedom, none of those beliefs are there. So actually anything is possible in this moment, right? And this is something I really want to connect to, because understanding that we are the unlimited potential that we see present in the universe, like the huge unknown unlimited potential that the universe has as a whole, is also present within me and you. And that is powerful. And when you can really understand that, you can understand that anything can be possible for you in your life. End of. It doesn't have to be anything can be possible if, or anything like X, Y, and Z can be possible. It's just anything can be possible in your life. End of, right? And this is something that has come to me through a various forms, right? But one of the ones that it's come to me through is recently I've been rewatching a lot of Dragon Ball Z. It was a program that I was obsessed with as a kid. It's an anime. For those of you who haven't watched it, so I'm going to assume most of you haven't. It's basically about martial arts, right? And there's a main character, Goku, who is a race. He comes from a race called the Saiyans. He's on Earth with another Saiyan called Vegeta, and they are basically living their lives, but different enemies keep coming to Earth to either destroy Earth or destroy them. So it's down to them to stop them. And that's the premise of the show. And the reason I want to use this as an example is because in the first series that I watched, Dragon Ball Z, and there's loads more series and films beyond that, the Vegeta and Goku were aware of a myth within their race, the Saiyans, of this so-called Super Saiyan. So it was someone who was capable of going way beyond the powers that they thought they were imaginable for themselves. So like I said, it's all to do with martial arts and fighting, right? So the more they trained, the stronger they obviously got. But they were only seeing the limit of that because they weren't able to see what was possible. They'd heard of this myth. No one knew if it was true or not. It was just a myth. And they weren't able to realize that. And almost the more they tried, the more they wouldn't reach it, right? And then what happens at the end of the series, and spoiler alert in case anyone does want to go and watch it, is Goku's fighting Frieza. And Frieza destroys one of Goku's friends. And Goku gets really, really angry. And through that anger, he almost like drops all of his beliefs. And what comes out is this insane power. And he transforms, like physically, literally, he has black hair. And then he transforms to like blonde hair. It's, just obviously a indication of the transformation. But he transforms into a Super Saiyan. And all of a sudden, what seemed like was impossible is now possible. And because he's done that, others then follow. Like Vegeta can see it's possible, and others can see it's possible as well. And what's amazing about that is not only have they seen beyond their own full potential, but as the series go on and as more foes come to Earth to try and battle them and what have you, they keep discovering further forms of Super Saiyan. So there's like a version 2 Super Saiyan, version 3, version 4, version 5. And all of this stuff seemed completely impossible to them in that first series because they didn't believe they were capable of it. Or maybe they thought they were capable of it, but they didn't know there was anything beyond that. And that's true when it comes to your own potential. Like you are capable of way more beyond whatever you think it is that you are capable of. And you just can't see it yet. And that's fine. Like it's absolutely fine. In fact, it's brilliant for it to be an unknown. You don't have to know. Allowing it to be an unknown is part of the power of allowing it to come into place. And this is really powerful because, as I said, Goku in the program, because he transforms into a Super Saiyan, it allows others to then believe that they can do it, right? And so kind of everyone comes up with him. And this is also seen in athletics. There was like the myth of like the 4-minute mile, which is, running a mile in less than 4 minutes. No one thought it was possible. And then one day, I think it was a college runner or something, like beat the 4-minute mark in the mile run. And all of a sudden, everyone else started being able to do it after them because what seemed impossible has now been proven possible. So everyone seemed to be, well, not everyone, but those who were dedicating their time to the mile race seemed to be able to reach this sub 4-minute mark. And this is so powerful when it comes to your own life, because if you can really trust in and tap into that your full potential is absolutely unlimited in this moment right now, that gives you a lot of power to create a lot of amazing stuff in your life, however that stuff looks for you. So I want to invite you to hit me up on Instagram, DM me at IamAlexManzi, and let me know what's stopping you from seeing or believing that your full potential is unlimited. And which kind of brings me on nicely to the next thing, right? Because the next thing that's occurred to me actually in the last few days, I was watching a webinar with this coach, Dr. Keith Blevins, coaching someone. And what really occurred to me, he said something really profound where a lot of personal growth, self-development, whatever you call it, are trying to look for the known as an answer. But it's in fact finding the unknown where you find the answers. And what he means by that is that, we're looking for like the next technique, the next thing. If I read more books, if I listen to more podcasts, if I, do all of these things, I'm going to find the answer I'm looking for in terms of like my own personal growth. But in fact, it's being in a space where you don't need the known, you just need to be comfortable with the unknown. It kind of quietens down all of that noise of, I need to do this and I need to find that and I need to find the answer here and I need to find the perfect this or whatever it is. And it allows your true nature, your true wisdom to come through. And when your true wisdom comes through, that's when you're living in that unlimited potential that we've been talking about. Because now you're living in this space, this, you can call it space or clarity or peace or unknown or formless. I mean, there's so many words for it, right? But you're living through this. This is how you're being in that moment. And that is informing how you're then creating your life moving forward. And when you have unlimited potential to work with, there's a lot of stuff that you can get done with that. Like there's a lot of stuff. And that's really powerful. Like understanding that you don't need to look for the answer or the right thing or, the how-to guide for that and the this and the that and the other. Of course, like sometimes they play their role. If you want to look up how to edit a video, of course there's a how-to, right? But if you're trying to find the perfect way to edit a video, you're never going to find it because there's loads of different ways you can edit a video. So what I'm saying is being with the unknown allows you to access the answers that you're looking for from the outside world, because those answers always inevitably come from you, right? You'll hear coaching people or other people calling them insights, and all that is a new thought. And a new thought is when there's space. A new thought occurs when you're living within this unknown. And I think that's really powerful. So, as I said, believing that and understanding that your potential is far beyond what you believe it to be, and coming from this place of unknown and being comfortable from that place of unknown allows you to experience more clarity, peace, space, and tapping into your full potential. It's really powerful stuff, and I really want you to see this in your own life and how it plays out. And if you've got any questions, or if you want to share with me actually what you've learned from this episode and how it resonates or relates to you, then do hit me up on Instagram. I am Alex Manzi. Let me know, because these learnings have been so powerful for me and I'd love to hear what they mean for you.